The radio station with more. You're listening to the radio station.
You're listening to
Now. The radio station with more. You're listening to the radio station.
You're listening to
This is
Radio Biafra.
Alright, this Ufuma Biafra on the microphone. God bless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Urobo Wado, hey, Isoko Wado, hey, IPOB, one family.
It's just my finger.
Yes, once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscious people, wherever you are, all over the world, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Radio Biafra London. Radio Biafra London is being anchored by the Deputy Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra. His name is Mazi Uchi Ukafomefo. He is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and Anambra State is Biafra land. Mazi Uchi Ukafomefo is the man who have assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. Many people will not understand the mindset behind those words, but I can assure you, you will one day. He is standing in a deputizing capacity on behalf of our Supreme Leader, Mazen Nandioku Kano. He is the king of Afari Beku. Afari Beku is in Umuahia. Umuahia is in Abia State, and Abia State is Biafra land. He is the director of Radio Biafra and Biafran Television. He is the one and the only man who stood up to speak for the collective interest of the Biafran people for over 60 years. And by the special grace of Chukwukika Biama, I am George Onyibe. I come from Abo. Abo is in Delta State, and Delta State is Biafra land. And of course, as always, we must move ahead to acknowledge the Creator, the one who has said the order of life, the one who knows the end even before they begin, the one who sees our weaknesses and out of them he made strength, the one though he is keeping quiet but there is so much for him to say. And as always, I say to him, Anyị na-aja gị mma o, n'ihi na ị mara mma o, ịhụnanya gị na gị, obiọma gị, o juru anya dadi o, inwe gị mgbanwe o, ọ dịghị onye dịka gị, ịbụ Alpha na Omega. Anyị niile na-asị na n'edema o, ise. And of course, without wasting much of our time, we will be going to our topic this evening. But before then, may I remind you that on this segment, our team remain back to your root. Back to your root. This is one aspect of our life that have been reduced with dedicated words and mindset. Hundreds of years it have been a target by the imperialists to actually inflict on you a self-hate which will indefinitely or invariably lead to your self-destruction. A lot of us cannot endure this world. And when my lines are open, some people are going to tell you religion, say religion, no say. Honestly, when I want to talk about religion, I will let you know. But I'm just trying to help all of us evaluate our stand. Let's find out what our father did and why they did what they did and why they failed to do what they supposed to do. Let us find out who they really were. It is as simple as ABCD. No mistake. There should be no confusion anywhere. And believe me, each time I come on air here, telling you about the culture and tradition of our ancestors, I do not stand to be correct. But I'm telling you what my ancestors did. I don't know about you. And then it is expected that at the end of this illustration, to you as a Biafran, you can come up here and say, yes, what you said, this is how we do it. Then what we said, this is how it is. Honestly, I may have visited Southeast as a Biafran, but I was born and brought up in Bende State. And this has been my home, our home. I know from the beginning of Bende State to the end of Bende State. I know every community. I know every dialect. I know everybody there. But there are things we do we know who our brothers are. I want to say the greatest revelation or weapon of uniting our people emerged as a result of our leaders saying one thing: if your mother tied to wrapper, you are a Biafran. And of course, there are questions people ask. And one of these days, we are going to look into some of this study. Why is it that in Biafra land, you have different languages? The answer is simple: intermarriage. We will study that and it will amaze you. But that having been said, we continue on the expedition, on this journey back to your root. Who are they? Why did they do what they did? And why would they not do certain things? Back to your root is our theme this evening. And then our topic for tonight on this very segment is some sacrilege acts forbidden by our ancestors. Some sacrilege acts forbidden by our ancestors. Don't let the grammar confuse you. Some things our fathers and our mother, they forbid it. They call it taboo. You don't do them. If you get involved, you are considered as unclean, unfit to associate with them. You will be penalized. You can be banished from the community. But these things look common these days. But our ancestors understand that getting involved in these things goes beyond a biological consequence. There are spiritual consequences. The very order of life will be disrupted. And when that is done, you begin to notice a lot of abnormal occurrences. And all these things gave room for us to begin to question the Creator. And do you know what? The Creator will not answer, because somewhere along the line, you have failed to find out what is behind your problem. Like I said earlier, we have come to a position as a people where every father is supposed to take once, at least 2 or 3 times, if not 4 times every month, to sit down your children and tell them who they are. There are indirect ways of trying to make laws that makes your children look as if you are born in America, you become America. You are born in Agbo, you become Agbo. You are born in Enugu, you become Enugutarian. It's not that way. It can never be that way. The government of the day can do that in order to enable you misplace your priority. But it's not going to be the truth, because the day they will call for the owners of the land, that day you will know you are a stranger. Tell your children who they are. Tell them who their father is. Tell them how they behave. You never know. Believe me. There is no way evil will triumph over righteousness. It can never be. It can never be. Some of the sacrilegious acts forbidden by our ancestors. When you talk about sacrilege acts, it means violation or misuse of what is regarded as sacred. It means the violation or the misuse of something that is regarded as sacred. Something that is sacred is something that is dedicated or something that is set apart for the service of worship of a deity, or considered worthy of spiritual respect. Something that is worthy of spiritual respect or devotion or inspiration or reference among people who believe in that thing. The property is often described to objects, sacred artifacts that is venerated and blessed or placed sacred on the ground. It's something that it is considered to be holy. Something that they believe should be respected. Something that they think it is special, dedicated for worship, in order to enhance or attract spiritual respect. I taken so much time to try to define sacrilege or sacred, and that is because it's not our dialect. If I were to be discussing with you on our language, I would have simply said arrow. Arrow. It's as simple as that. Leave all this big grammar. Arrow. When they say something is arrow, you should understand what it means. Onyibe arrow. And then in my dialect, I'll see arrow. We're going to look at some of the arrows that our ancestors strictly forbid. Why do they do that? Let me tell you the truth. It is not about going to the church. It is not about going to the mosque. It is not about being Ogomo, Omenala, Shabbatarian, Arabatarian. It really doesn't matter when it comes to the issue of righteousness. I have noticed from experience that if you are doing the right thing, you have a lot of spiritual backup, believe me. That is why our ancestors always use that word and say, Ojofo Ghana. Ojofo Ghana, onwero hendiro genwikime. And when they say Ojofo Ghana, that means if your hands are clean, you will escape any trap. We just consider these things as ordinary words. Please, try and study them. It will amuse you. If your hands are clean, there is nothing anybody can do. They can only back. Ojofo Ghana. When they say your hands are clean, it does not mean you are faultless. It could mean that even in your most dubious and dirtiest of mistake or sin or atrocity, you still stand pure because they were not deliberate. There is power in righteousness. Believe me. The Bible says that the righteous are as bold as lion. There is power in doing the right thing. Our fathers understand this truth. Their adage and parables that they present before us on daily basis testify, bear testament to this truth. And if there must be righteousness that empowers individual, you must know how they come. Let me digress a little bit to enable you to be able to assimilate and digest our study this evening. If you see the Fulani in our land, they are raping animals. They rape old women. They rape younger ladies. They rape anything they can see. The Fulani Hausa politicians are sleeping with some of our politicians. Is it gay they call them? Gay. And the point is, these things are not normal. When you see Fulani man sleeping with cow, my brother, they are not normal. When you see a Fulani man raping a woman as old as 90 years, my brother, they are not normal. It's not about the sexual engagement. There is more beneath it. You see Fulanis in our land, they will arrange a little girl. They can be up to 40. They will rape the girl till she dies. And they pieces her and throw the remaining parts of the body away. My brothers, they are not doing this thing for the fun of it. These are rituals. Our fathers understand these things. They first of all make sure that their children don't get involved in such dirty and nasty art. They understand the consequence. When you are part of the perpetrators of this evil, you are part of the people propelling this evil in our land. They understand the consequence. They understand the consequence of other people doing it in your land. Because the last time I checked, we are supposed to be the guardians of Biafra land. Where are they today? But of course, a lot of things has gone wrong when it comes to the issue of culture and tradition, because there is a Yoruba man there very interested in your 10% to make sure that your prayers do not affect them. They destroy your culture and tradition. They subdue you and enslave you spiritually, but you will not understand because you will think you are serving Jesus. No, you are serving Yoruba pastor. Very bitter, but it remains the truth. Like I said, we are looking at some of the cultures and traditions that are sacrilege, arrow. In those days when men were men, you cannot carry out those activities. But it looks like it is prevalent among the Nigerian youth these days, and of course among youth across the globe. Most of them don't even know what they are doing, why they do. But tonight, let me enlighten you. It is not our style. It has never been our style. And it will not be our style. This is the time everybody must tell their children who they are. Nigerians have spent time telling us who we are not. The Yoruba keep telling their children who they are not. The Hausa Fulani keep telling their children who they are not. But we, on the other hand, we have failed to tell our children who we are. You are busy promoting people's culture. You are busy telling them who they are not. Oh, my son, my daughter, don't mind them. We are Nigeria. You are evil. That is sacrilege. Don't mind IPOB. Look at what they are doing. My sister, my brother, you are evil. That is sacrilege. Are we here to conquer Yoruba? Are we here to conquer Hausa? Are we here to conquer Fulani? But you don't know you have problem. But you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. And of course, there are so many of them, but I will focus on one area more tonight. And then in other studies, we look at other areas. And now, some of this sacrilege art, forbidden by our ancestors, we'll start by looking at number one, the law behind sexual intercourse. The law behind sexual intercourse. All these things you think they are normal, they cause problem in a society, physically or spiritually. But whatever way you want to consider it, somebody bears the consequence. Sexual intercourse. In our leader broadcast, he said in those days, when Hausa man, Fulani man, or Yoruba man touch Igbo girl, they do party. Some people will think it's fun. Our leader Mazen Kanu is not the first place. I said so. My mother told me that if Hausa have the privilege of touching Igbo woman, they don't wash that hand. My mother didn't say they do party. But my mother said they don't wash that hand. It is also part of party. You can imagine Hausa man, Yoruba man, Fulani man touch Igbo woman. He go hold the hand. They know they touch am. It be like who touch angel. Hold the hand almost 1 month. Then so boy, why are you carrying your hand up beside touch Igbo woman? I touch Igbo woman. How did we get here? Today the same people they sing song for us. And you are there romancing one Nigeria. The people who represent death to your people. You are holy. Don't worry. But let's look at them this evening. When you look at this sacrilege regarding to sexual intercourse, there are things our ancestors don't do. And it's happening in our society today. Others can do it. They know the reason why they are doing it. And if our fathers did not participate in that act, that means they have a reason why they did not. Every other person can do that and go away, but not for you. That is why there are certain sins, unquote, according to the world standard, that we commit. And people come and say, don't you know it's a sin? Who told you? Who told you? Are you from my village? If it's a sin in your village, who told you it's a sin in my village? Our children must know who they are. Number one, when you talk about those sacrilege on the side of sexual intercourse, one, a father does not have sexual intercourse with the daughter. In fact, throughout this COVID-19 lockdown, Nigerian newspaper in 2 different occasions gave statistics of how many fathers that pregnanted their daughter during the COVID-19 lockdown. I think Anambra record was that 24% of Anambra citizens, their men pregnant their mother. In as much as I don't want to believe that very story coming from Yoruba Gota media, I will categorically tell you that a lot of fathers now sleep with their daughter. This is sacrilege and should not happen. These are the reason why brothers can open their eye and betray brother. These are the reason why a lot of evil is happening in our land. Because you have defied the system. And if you are listening to me this evening as a daughter, because your father is not doing it does not mean it doesn't happen. I will not say don't let your father do it. Because in the real sense, if that man blood is what form you, your father body cannot move for you. When you see your supposed dead father lusting after you, my sister, that man is not your father. You don't need DNA test to know it's not your father. The mother should be held responsible. It's sacrilege. Now, as a child, in those days, where community was community, they don't stop us from fighting. About where I come from, they don't stop children from fighting. The moment they see you, there's this tendency you want to fight all the time. You feel like fighting. They do ring for you. They will say, yeah, fight so that this fight will end. Others will put chair around you people. In that fight, nobody blows each other hard one. What you see is, I push you, and then I push you. I touch you now, then I touch you now. After like 30 minutes of touching and pushing, they will hold themselves, strangle themselves, fall on the ground, rotate on the sand. And then maybe after like 30 minutes, they say, stand up. Are you people satisfied? Both of you will be breathing. Are you satisfied? You admit you are satisfied. They say, go and bathe. But do you know that there are certain things that will happen in the course of that fight? It will lead to another revelation. You and your brother are fighting. You said blow to puncture that your brother's face. My brother, even you, if both of you are the same mother and the same father, it means that your mother has gone to Pampala somewhere and bring Hausa Fulani son. That boy is not your brother. In my village, what they will do is they will call the mother and say, tell us the truth. You gave birth to Peter and Paul. How come Peter is punching Paul to the extent of almost killing him? Tell us what is the secret. Who is the father of Paul? Or who is the father of Peter? Because what they see already told them something is wrong. My sister, if your father is touching your pint, go and ask your mother, who is my father? That man is not your father. He will rape you and God will not punish him. But God will punish your mother because your mother is the beginning of that evil. This is the time the righteous nation must rise. Let us tell the next generation the truth so they can remove abominable object. They can remove abomination from our land. No true father can sleep with the daughter. Your prick will not stand. Let me come down in the level you will understand. Before I say skruntum now, then we'll now put that for Facebook. Judge Onyibe say skruntum. Your real father prick cannot stand for the daughter. It is not possible. It is considered sacrilege. And when it happens, there is consequence. there is consequence. That is why you see suicide. That is why you see certain things that don't happen in our community, they begin to happen. Under normal circumstance, that man that want to sleep with the daughter, there are many women outside. Your mind did not tell you that our custom and tradition permit you to marry 1 million wife like Solomon. It's your daughter. That is the one that is moving you. It is Satan that is moving you. You are possessed. You have become a curse. All of you, to the whole generation. I don't want to go to Bible references. It will shock you. But I'm telling you from our culture and tradition. Father does not climb his own daughter. It's a taboo, arrow, sacrilege. But it's happening in our society today. And I'm happy our leader reaffirmed it. When Biafra come, I can assure you, some of us will fight for certain things to be instilled in the society. DNA test compulsory. So that when we have problem, let's know where our problem is coming from. Hausa, Yoruba, Fulani, product of rape as a result of war, frustrating our life. Do I blame you for that? No, I don't blame you. But will I allow you to kill me because you are a victim of circumstance? Of course I will not allow that. You didn't choose your position, neither do I. And then let me be. If Yoruba man pregnanted you, take it to Yoruba, let them carry their uluwole. If it's Hausa Fulani, give it to them, let them carry their bambiyala. We cannot keep quiet and allow you to kill us in our fatherland. Personating also, we say, is one of us. You are not one of us. No true father sleep with the daughter. Let me stop there. Number 2. No true mother sleep with the son. If we tell you that some mothers sleep with their son, you will doubt it. It happened in my place. A woman, the son went to take hard drug. Whether it's Brantashi, they call it. We were still small then, according to what I heard. They said the boy was going to die except something happened. And the only available woman there was the mother. And the woman had sexual intercourse with the son. And when the man heard, he left the house. For over 20-something years, we spent in that community. I never see the man. I asked my mother one day, where are these people, father? Why is only this boy and the mother the one at home? And my mother told me, it's a sacrilege. The man walked away and never returned again. The woman lived in isolation. And the boy was like an outcast. Everybody have to avoid them. So the evil will start with them and die with them because it is sacrilege. But sometimes when you look at it, for a mother to go to that length, something is wrong. Something is wrong. It defied the land. Did you hear the consequence? The man has to walk away from the community, never to return again. The woman was isolated with the son for the rest of their life, forbidden from visiting anybody. The reason is because this evil started with you people, and this evil will die with you people. That man is dead. That woman is dead. And that son is dead. And there is nobody as we speak today to carry out their lineage. But it's gone. And so if you are a son now, your mother is doing that kind of a thing to you, you have to run for your life. If she insists in continue doing that, run for your life. Keep her in a distance where you can see her as a mother. Never go close to her. This is abomination. This is sacrilege. This is defiling our land. That is why the son of a king is trekking and the son of a slave is on top of the horseman for the prince. We are fighting unusual battle. You people will not understand. Somebody say, oh, how does it bring freedom for us? But it is the same act that is making us desperate, trying to release ourselves from this dungeon. Are they not raping your mother? Are they not sleeping with our politician? All those Hausa Fulani, they sleep with your politician. Go and ask Roger Sukorosha. Does the truth hurt you? Number 2. Number 3. Sleeping with people's wife. Somebody's wife. The husband go to work. You now meander. You are a sharp guy. It's a sacrilege. There is a reason why God gave more women than men. And there are some things I may not want to go to in the course of our back to your root. You know, sometimes we tread with caution anyway. By the time it becomes something that is encouraged in our society, it opens door for other people to even take advantage of it. I can tell you categorically that in Yoruba culture, your wife is only when both of you are under the same roof. A Yoruba woman can go and meander anywhere in the world. Their custom does not forbid it. But if she comes back to the husband's house, she can't do that. But in our own culture as a people, we don't tolerate it. Even though you are doing it today, it is a high class of taboo. It is in the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. When David made that mistake, if not for the fact that he understands he has made a mistake, repented and make amends, in fact, he was denied a lot of privileges because of that act. And he prayed and saw the face of God dearly for it. Cast me not away from your presence, O Lord. Take not the Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of my salvation, and renew a right spirit within me. There are young girls out there. Why don't you get 4 wives, 20 wives in an person own? Or shakewo. Another man's wife is the one you are looking. Do you know there are some people so hopeless that they are looking for pregnant women to sleep with? All these things defile our land. All these things are ritual. Watch out for them if we must deliver a holy nation. We shouldn't say it, but it's happening. And we are bearing the brunt. We are bearing the consequence. And then we should say it. The next generation of Biafra may not know. Oh, it's my daddy. Doesn't mean, is he not my daddy? Oburakwa your daddy, oh. Aliwoken. There is a boundary between 2 plots of land. They are the same land, oh, but they have a boundary. These are sacrilege. Your anointing is to pursue other people's wives. Check yourself. You have been cursed. Another form of sacrilege. Our ancestors forbid making love in an open field. We are not animal. Our ancestors forbid it. You must do that in a home, in a closet. Go to almost every bridge in Nigeria. You see atrocity, arrow, abomination, sacrilege. And you think that kind of country can develop? Your leaders allow you to do that because the moment you defile yourself, you open the portal that enables the enemy to strike you. What Yoruba Hausa Fulani are doing, raping and killing on our land, is to defile our land in order for the portal for them to open and kill us justifiably, and God will say nothing. There is the one they call necrophilias. That one is very common with Hausa Fulani, sleeping with cow. They sleep with goat. They sleep with dog. Any animal they see. Of course, when I say this thing, it happened in Europe, it happened in America, it happened across the globe where you have lunatics. With all the number of beautiful girls across the globe, you see a man to sleep with dog and chicken and goat and fowl and most especially in Nigeria. This is sacrilege. It is forbidden by our ancestors. But do you know some people culture promote it? Talking about defiling young girls. Talking about you as a woman. In those days I was in Abo. There is as a child, there is a company that came in later. They call them Biwadam. Construction company, maybe from one of these Arab nations. Biwadams, I think they are still in Aboti tomorrow morning. What they did then, in the evening like this, they gathered some of our guests with jeep. We were still small. Take them into their construction site. Pay them money and allow dog to be sleeping with them. They will be videoing them. And they pay them money. I've never survived wake up from that traumatization. Even as an adult today. As I'm speaking to you, I'm feeling it. But to those girls, it was fun. Their mother didn't tell them. Their father didn't tell them. How many of you, Biafra mother and father, know what they are doing to your daughter or your son when you are not there? Tell them this truth so they can defend themselves in the nearest future. You never know the next lunatic will come in their way. Understand that there are spiritual consequences and physical consequences. There are some other persons who like to the gay, that one is popular, lesbian. Now let me tell you, when this atrocity happens, it defies the land. When the land is defied, the people remain weak and unable to defend themselves. So that is why when Hausa come into our land, they defile our land by every means necessary and available to them. Now let me tell you that almost 50% of Biafran women were pregnanted on top of trailer going to sell gari in Ugwawosa. Many of them end up going to Ugwawosa to sell gari, but they have a room where they are doing a shower. They brought children who are inflicting this misery on us here on our land. Let me tell you, as we are speaking here now, go to every market in Biafra land, every major market in Biafra land, you will see how Wosa Fulani have a way of controlling the market and our environment at night. Go to oil mill, for instance. You will see as early as 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, our youngest are lying down with Awusa to buy tomato. Line up waiting for Awusa to buy tomato, watermelon, garbage, onions, whatever it is. If you know the atrocity going on there, you will know why we are in deeper trouble than all of you can imagine. Am I saying it to spite on anybody? No. I am first of all saying, mother, tell your children this evil cannot stand. It will affect them. That is why most of you will not be able to have children. Maybe you did it out of hunger, but we get to a stage in life, we choose to stand for dignity. We choose to stand for righteousness. We choose to stand that justice and truth may prevail above every other thing. That if at the end of the day, we give up everything that matters dear to us, let it be on record that we did it for the good of humanity, most especially our people. Don't do that. No be only you where they hungry. Go to trailer park somewhere in Enugu. Go to anywhere you have trailer park. Go to Munede. Go to anywhere drivers park. You will see what Awusa Fulani are destroying our culture and tradition, defiling our land by this art. No, we're not going to say it. We're going to say it, oh. When they kill your elderly people in the farm and their blood touch ground, it defies the ground. Everything that back us up spiritually is gone. Somebody said it in our morning program. We don't believe in all these things. Say no, no, there is power. Oh. There is power. Oh. There are powers that governs this universe. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. There are powers. Because you can't see them, because you can't feel them, because sometimes they are not tangible, does not mean they are absent. They exist. They exist, believe me. Now, let's just look at some of them briefly, and then I'll open our line, and you tell me some of this sacrilege art. There is an adage in my place. Onyaji wi anyuehi onyu waike. Onyaji wi anyuehi onyu waike. You come out where elders are. You pollute. It's a sacrilege. You can die for it miserably. But there are people in their culture, they mess anyhow, no regard. When they even mess, they greet you. Eku messy, ele baba, ele baba. What did the baba do? Baba just mess. In our culture and tradition, you don't mess, you don't pollute in the presence of an elder. It's a sacrilege. You will pay dearly for it without knowing. And most of you do that, you don't know. That is why most of our problem, we don't even know where it starts from. How can we know how to solve it? Do you know the implication when our mothers come out and naked and swear for you? Do you know the implication? Most of the governors in Biafra land, those of you who made our mother to naked and swear for you, just begin to look for how to see them and make peace with God. Because if you escape it, your children will not escape. It is a very dangerous act, except you are not one of us. And if you are not one of us, your own case become more worse. You make our mother to open their wrapper and swear for you, you are in trouble. Forget about the juju man that service you. You are in trouble. That such cause never leave. Many politicians in Nigeria have created the atmosphere that enables our mother to naked and walk along the road for them and place a curse on them. They think they will escape. You will not escape, believe me. If you manage to escape by the way of being smartness, it will catch up with your children. Tell your children what you have done so they know what they are waiting for. All these things are sacrilege acts. All these things are sacrilege acts. Some women, when they have issue with their husband, they will turn their back and use their hand to hit their bumbo and tell their husband, ooh, they will be using their bumbo to swear for their husband. You are placing a curse on yourself. If you are such woman, that is not boldness, that is not being aggressive, that is not trying to stand up to your right, you are placing a curse on yourself. And if all of us at the end of the day, out of ignorance or deliberately defile ourselves, how do you think God will back us up? In as much as we understand that God will not do for man what man should do for themselves, we understand that God helped man. America understand this truth. That is why in their dollars, you see where they write, in God we trust. That is why Africans have their very fabric of their existence attached with religion. Very religious people. The world know the truth. That is why Chinese and Japanese and Indian, all of them worship their ancestors. Because they understand that there is a power that sits in heaven and he presides over the affair of man. He is the one that shapes our way. I want you to watch our leader closely. He continually saying Elohim, Chukwu Okike Abiama, Abasembo, Priye, Tamuno, Chukwu, Orise. He keeps telling you, God sent us here. And the more you commit some of this sacrilege, the more he withdraw his presence from you. And that is why you see, when your enemy finish defiling you, they create substance, they create situation, they create scenario. They must look for a way to link that problem back to you. If you don't have this knowledge, you suffer for the crime you know nothing about. Where boy your food will see you, man. That having been said, I will stop here this evening, but we will continue from there. There are a lot of sacrilege acts out there. If you get involved, you either pay dearly or the next generation pay dearly. Tell the next generation of Biafrans this truth. It will save them. Every Biafran will eventually leave Yoruba church, but I can assure all of them they will go to heaven. And the reason why they have to live there, it is because they control your destiny. You gave it that control power to them without your knowledge. I wish you can see what we are trying to make you see now. But you will. Let's hope it will not be too late. But God is faithful. That He keep watching on all of us Biafrans. That is why no matter how much they try to defile our land, He did not allow them to prevail. He did not give them that privilege to prevail. When you see Hausa Fulani or Fulani ravaging our land, raping and killing, all those things are sacrilege acts to our land. And it makes certain things go down. Brothers, sisters, let us clean our land so that Chukwu Kikabiama indeed can assume his full position. I'll be back in a minute.
The radio station with more. You're listening to the radio station.
You're listening to
This is
Radio Biafra.
Yes, at this moment our lines are open. Our WhatsApp line remains 07081545642. 07081545642. It's our WhatsApp line. Our direct line is 08122152971. 08122152971. And the special number for the female is 08128858614. Special number for the female is 08128858614. Let me tell you one gospel truth. There are a lot of things that we need to put aside, as the consequence behind those actions will give coverage to saboteurs, enemies of Biafra that live among us already. Caller on WhatsApp, your name and where are you calling from? Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening.
Good evening from
Dear friends all over. I'm Ebenezer Amago. I'm calling from Oyi. Maze, your topic this evening really it really impressed me because I now think back and understand why people no longer want to go back to their roots. You know, in a place where I come from, when somebody marry or when a woman marry, there is something we call traditional marriage. Yeah, for my dialect, we call it ikwetu. That is for Abakaliki language. Then, after the woman must have gone that traditional system, no matter how strong the person is, the woman can never go and meet another woman, another man. If eventually she tries it, either his son or either her son will die, or if the woman cook and give to the husband, if the husband know that her wife meets another man and he ate the food, the man will die. And there is another strong thing that this your topic this evening really teach me many things that I've forgotten. In my place, when somebody dies, or madam, if the person that died, if you that went there, you go there and collect cow, they kill there. Where you, for your own father that died, you did not kill cow for your father. You go there and collect the cow that they do for another man's burial. Eventually, if you eat the cow, you will still die. So, this thing now tell me that there are natural power bestowed in this land. But because of how these Fulani people came, they are now trying to pollute our land, destroy our land. All those things that we believe, those things that have those natural power, they are no longer existing now. For example, if you come to Enugu Ezike, all these things they are still in existence. If you come to my place, because I come from Izi, in a place called
my
Izi.
brother, they say the ignorant of the law is no excuse. Because you don't know those are part of the problem we are facing. You will think it does not exist. It does. Like the example you gave now. In my place, if a woman is going out of the matrimonial home, and the consequence is that the son will start dying. First son will die, then second son will die, third son will die. The moment they start dying in sequence, that means the woman is going out. It takes them one after the other. If the man knows and keep quiet and still be eating the woman's food, the man will die.
Exactly, that's how it happens.
It's still till tomorrow, but they will not tell you. The doctor will say it's a Orobomasin disease. They now write gone too soon. It's not Orobomasin. We do not cast our young ones down. We do not cast our youngs on time. In our culture and tradition, it is a taboo to die. Obanje, that is one of the reasons they want to like demonize Obanje. They don't take it, but it happens today. Go ahead, please.
Mazi, even as in there, this your topic this night really touches me because I'm into transportation. Every park, all over the world.
Every motor park, you see what they do to most of our women? I was so Fulani, but people don't understand. He said, no, it's too raw, let's leave it. We're not gonna leave anything unturned. We're not gonna leave anything unturned. Let us clean our hearts so that very day, as we will march as a people, with one voice where we shout, a light will penetrate through the universe that they have not seen the kind before. Back to your roots. Go ahead.
Mazi, please permit me to use my dialect to speak to my people all over the world. So, Ndibani, iji n'odo ezeze kuna ikwo n'oyo mgbe jọgụ ọhọzara afikpo okpoto ọkpọchi amụnda eshomu ekọbụluru n'ọkpọ onye ọbụla gbesiga ebe ha IPOB bi ha adọpụta anyị onye ọbụla gbesiga ebe ha IPOB na-ejọta ọkwa oke anyị ba degono ndị ibe funta bụkwa oke rubere anyị medabe mazụja agbawe ka anata anyị ifregwu elele nyon onye ọbụla gbesi ga-ejoin Nnamdi Kanu ka anyị nweta ihe na oruru anyị ngwa legodo anya gị lee anya le mgboka nta dị hụ ibe eme ngwurungwuru anyị gị marụ bụ egwu n'obe okwochi edo eke ọbụla anyị jere ande emela otowe dị anyị medab bete eke ọbụla ije ịhụmala anyị medab ibe kacha abụrụ n'emazụ kacha abụrụ ọkwụbe n'emazụ ekamek jiko ekamek unu nọ nugbesi ga-join IPOB everywhere. Thank you, Mazi, for permitting me to speak my dialect.
Thank you. We must continue. Our people must understand where we are coming from in order for them to be able to appreciate where they are going to. This is not about trying to be religious. This is about an indirect way of decimating a people. Ask yourself a question. Why would they see young girls and they are raping old women? It is ritual. Ask yourself, have you not noticed that in the past month now, they have been targeting our elders, bringing them one after the other? Ritual. Are you there, caller on the line? Good evening from here, caller on the line. Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Go ahead, please.
I'm from Iguacha.
Go ahead. Your name. Go ahead.
My name is Sarah. What you can do for us? The people all in the name of those that they are not mistake. This thing you are telling us, sir.
Maybe that's Zoo Epileptic Network, but let's see if you can be able to call back honestly. Very interested to know what you're about to say. Yes, caller on WhatsApp, are you still there?
Yes, Onyibe, I'm still here. Thank you very much.
Good evening from here. Go ahead.
Onyibe. Good evening, sir. Abali ọma, mgbede ọma, ehihie ọma, ụtụtụ ọma. Ebe onye ọbụla nọ. Asụkwa m n'ụbọchị taa taba ahịa oye ka ọ etere anyị ihe ọma. Oye etere anyị niile ihe ọma o na-eke na oye na afọ na nkwọ. Si onye uwe onye ọbụla ga na-edu ya. Onye ọbụla bụ nwa Biafra ebe ọbụla unu nọ. Si onye uwe onye ọbụla ga na-edu ya. Ihe anyị na-ekwu na onye ọbụla ga-agba mbọ je chọwa onye wuchi onye ụwa ya. Onye ọ bịara ime ihe ya n'elu ụwa. Maka onwe ihe onye bịara ime ife ya ebe a nọ ihe onye m bịara ime ihe abụ afọ ya bụ anielo. Achọ m ka onye ọbụla jemalụ onye bụ onye ụwa ya maka na ọ dị mkpa unu gee ntị unu ga-anụ ihe Onyibe na-ekwu na mgbede a. Ihe Onyibe na-ekwu na mgbede ana m akụpụrụ ya mgbịrịmgba. Maazị Onyibe, ana m akụpụrụ oge mgbịrịmgba n'ọnọdụ a okwu anyị na-ekwu na mgbede a na ọdọrọ m fecha ebe gbadoro ọkpa wee na-ekwu okwu bụ na nkume dị oke ọrụ dị oke elu. Nkume ezumezu ndị ichie, ezumezu ụmụ ọkpụ adaọla, ezumezu ụmụada ndị iyom, ndị ukwu, ndị nze, ndị ọzọ, ndị eze, ụmụ okoro, ụmụ agbọghọbịa, ụmụ kirikiti papa. Ọnụ okwu a ka ịgbadoro ọkpa kịta wee na-ekwu okwu anụnwa dị mkpa maka na nwaanyị ọbụla gbaa n'ezi bata si ilu oke na-eje na mmụọ. Gere m ntị ihu unu wee fụ ihe o ji wee dị ka ga-asị na onwe ka ya bụ okwu si wee gbatakwụrụ. Ya bụ ihe otu o si wee gbatakwụrụ bụ na nwoke ọbụla na-eje na mmụọ wee bata nwunye ya wee gbaa n'ezi wee sierie nri ya na mmụọ enwe na nsogbu. Onya kpatara ndị ụka ji wee je na-edi na ndị ha ma na nwaanyị onye na di nọ na mmụọ ha je kpawa agwa ka ha wee di na anya nwaanyị ha di na ha anya nwaanyị nwoke ọ batazia sielu nwoke richa ya bụ nni ọnwụhụ nke ahụ ka dị otu ahụ ọdụ kwarukwa echi ha gbanwe ọ kpata o ji wee dị nsogbu ji wee karịa ndị nwe nnukwu arọ magharịa ọ na-enye nsogbu ha gbasaa unafuge onya ka ndị onya ka iji wee fụ na onye ọbụla nọkarị n'ime ụka kịta ha nọkarị n'ime ụka wee na-eme ajọ ife n'ala be anyị.
Aganeku is not about church. Aganeku is not about church. Very soon I will talk about I will talk about Aros Ndi Dibia. Ndi Dibia one mekwa Arosio. Let's tell our people what is happening. And there is a way you put it. Lucas is the whole church. You don't know anything about the church, I can assure you. Hold on, for the sake of other people. When I want to talk to the church, I say Yoruba church. I put Yoruba because they are the one who brought all these things. But if you don't differentiate it, people will not know who you are talking to. I'm not talking to Igbo pastor or any other pastor because the atrocity has nothing to do with us. They just collect little change. Yoruba pastors are the one doing juju there. If you put Yoruba pastor, we'll be better off. If you just say church, not all of us. In the same way, one day we'll come here and we'll talk about Ogomo. It will look as if it's Ogomo people. We are trying to focus on what our fathers they do. They used to do those things. Why did they do those things? What is the benefit? What are the disadvantages? What are the consequences? In as much as we are saying all these things, if we do not direct our word in proportion, people may not understand what we say. This place, some people think I'm talking about religion. Honestly, it's not about religion. Being a reverend does not make me better than anybody or worse than anybody. I choose not to allow anybody to violate that conscience. But outside that, I held the tradition of my ancestors higher than anything because in them I found true life. So what I'm trying to say is don't blame it on the church. The church didn't take our sister to go and sleep with Hausa Fulani under motor park, buying onions and buying a melon. The church didn't tell father to go and sleep with their daughter. The church didn't tell some mother to be sleeping with their son. We did it. And something went wrong somewhere which they don't know. I try to make our sisters to understand. If you have a father trying to go under your pint, that man is not your father. Go and hold your mother responsible. The same thing is applicable to son. And when we see all these things, you will see the issue of saboteur will diminish from among us. Watch anybody against Biafra.
Let me come back because the line is jumping.
Okay. Everybody fighting against Biafra. You will see them. These people, something is wrong. These people who do not share the same DNA with you, the same blood with you, if you like, do anything, they will never love you. And so when you call in on this segment, focus on how it affects us as a people. If you must call Christian, call Yoruba Christian. They are the one who caused all this nonsense, raping all of you inside the church. Was Igbo man not the vice president or vice general overseer of Redeem? Did they not poison him? What about Mountain of Fire? We are assistant general superintendent. Where he wasn't not Igbo man. Why did they poison him? Honestly, it's not about them. I keep telling our people, leave Yoruba church. I'm very specific. Not all of them are bad. Majority of them are. And of course, try if you can come back. So please, when you call me, don't hit it on the church. Be specific so I can address the person's stupidity. Can you hear me, caller, on the line? Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
I don't know, radio from this area is really very shaky. You can never understand every single word. I don't know whether from here or from that side you are. I'm educated to do the
Well, on that, your phone line is very noisy, so much distorting sound coming from there. But I can assure you from my own side, everything is perfect. Caller on the line, are you there? Caller on the line, are you there? Caller on WhatsApp, are you still there? I thought you have disengaged. Caller on WhatsApp, are you still there?
Yes, Onyibe, are you hearing me?
I thought you disengaged. Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead, please.
Please, it's just network. Okay. Even I'm not Subian Igbo, but you enjoy Igbo, they was here. What I got?
More, each cancel one Igbo, Igaman and Gatabili na Albania. How if it's
but so good to be Igbo. Oh, you all want to
and so you think about it. So by
oh,
Guamen,
we have
I will go Guamen in the one.
You got to oh, you anyị na-aga n'iru na-achịkọ ihe niile anyị na-achịkọ maka na onye agwala ọnụ ndụ ya onye na-agwakwa ha onwe ya ụwa anụ anyị nọ n'ime ụmụ Biafra ihe m na-ayọ onye ọbụla mụnwa bụ nwa onye Chinedu m nwe ka ga na-ekwu wee ka o mere nke mbụ nke ihe ise nke isii nke isaa nke asatọ nke itenaanị na nke iri na ana n'Igbo Biafra ihe m na-agwa onye ọbụla bụ onye amaghị agba ya ụba onye amaghị agba ụba ndị ahụ ide n'anya nọcha na nnukwu ekwu ebe ahụ n'enu ebe ahụ cha ndị na-ejere ha anya na ha evu kacha na onweghị onye ha wụ unu elezi na ndị ahụ anya udidi kịta uru nwa dị na-etolite ọfụ onye ọbụla gba gịnị na-etuwe anya na kịta maka na ọ na-ana ka anyị na-etuwe anya onye ọbụla na-etuwe anya n'ala ka anyị tụọ ihe daa mmiri maka na ọ were gbuo n'ụtụtụ kedu ihe eji achọ ihe daa mmiri ewere ụkwa n'azụ ya ka anyị were aka wee chọrọ ya maybe he can eme onye ọbụla je mara onye bụ onye owu ya maka you come on this planet to represent somebody. That person you represented, who is he? What is his name? Onye bụ onye ga na-akpa afa. You got to go. So onye ọbụla gbaa mbọ kịta ka were gbuo ogwu n'ụtụtụ maka na ndị anyị na-anya nwechakwalụ ha nwetakwara ihe dị ha kpesi ha na be ha nwetakwara ọfọ ha debesie na be ha anya maka na ihe ahụ onye Igbo kwuru na ọ ya mecha gwa ndị dibịa ndị na-eme ihe arụrụ ala o nwere ndị dibịa ji alụ dozichaa mmụọ wetasie mmụọ hapụzie mmụọ daadị kedu mmụọ anya bịara itinye ka anyị bịara iwepụ onwekwu ihe anyị bịara itinye na onwekwu ihe anyị bịara iwepụ ka m gwakwa uru na ọ bụ ihe ndị gboo ndị tọrọ ntọ na be anyị ndị ahụ uru mara tọrọ ntọ na be anyị ihe nwe ha debere ndị ahụ ha tọrọ ntọala nwee ihe a na-akpọ omenala nwee ihe a na-akpọ ọdịnala ịghọtago ọdịnala omenala ịghọtago ọ bụ kịta adị nwa ka onye ọbụla ga-agba mbọ pụta ife ka emechasị anya kịta ka ọ kọrọ mmiri ị mara ikwu nna gị maka na onye ọbụla nọba anyị onye ọbụla nwa be anyị si na ụmụnna wee pụta onye ọbụla nwa be anyị si na kindred wee pụta otu anyị si na kindred wee pụta o nwere ihe unu ji wee bụrụ kindred ahụ o nwere ji wee bụrụ ụmụnna ahụ onye ọbụla bụ nwa be anyị nwere ihe ha ji bụrụ ụmụnna ha nwere obu nnukwu nna ha ha nwere obu nnukwu nna ha nwere ndị ya na ha nwee mkpuke niile ya na ha dị wee bụrụ gotago n'ọrụ ya ihe anya kịta na-agba mbọ ya kịta ihe Ọhamadike Nnamdi Okwu Kanụ onye bụ ihe obiọma ji emelụ m na Chukwu wepụtara kịta o wee na-arụ ọrụ a ịghọtago ọbịa ka obiọma ji na-eme m maka na Ọhamadike bụ ọgụ ka ọ bịara Igbo ọ bụ ihe Ọhamadike ọ bụ okwenye bụ ọgụ maka na ị na-akịta ụmụnna ya kịta na-amụchazi kịta anụnwa ihe ọjị gbaa ịbụọ kedu ihe ọ bụ ịghọtago igbuwe ọjọọ gbaa mkpụrụ na ọdụ mkpụrụ na abụ kedu ihe ọ bụ ihe ụmụazị be anyị na-amụkịta ọjị gbaa mkpụrụ ịtọ kedu ihe ọ bụ amaghị ịghọtago ọ bụ ihe kwesịrị onye ọbụla ji ekwesị iji na-aga n'akwụkwọ ndị anụnwa gụrụ jee na-eme ha ji gịcha gịgịricha afụta ndị anyị hụ na-eje na-agụgịrị isi gị na-afụta ebulu akwụkwọ asambodo na-akpagharị onwe ya ndị ahụ ihe nke ndị ọzọ ka ha ji eje mụ mana ọkwa ihe onye ọbụla na-eme ihe ọfọ na-eme ihe ana na-eme ihe ọfọ na-eme ihe ogwugwu na-eme ihe udo na-eme ihe eke na-eme ihe oye na-eme ihe afọ na-eme ihe nkwọ na-eme ihe aja ana na-ede osisi ihe ndị a onweghị onye gara akwụkwọ ka ya na-ekpe ugbu a ọ bụghị onwe ya na-agwa uru onye gara akwụkwọ ya so ha fụrụ ndị agha na-agaghị ehicha ya ahụ ọkwa ọfụta ọlụwa okwu na-enwe ọba n'ibu opiofute onye ijikwazi akwa okoko yiri gụnwe ijekwakwa akwa akụkọ ahụ ijikwarị ya fụta onwe ha onye enweghị ihe dị iche onwe ha onye ọnwụ ịghọtago onye ka m ji were agwa uru pịta onye ọwụna jekwube IPOB onye ọwụna ịmala ebe onye ọwụna nọ jeben jekwube na ha ogbefe Onyibe a na-achọpụrụ gị
Thank you very much.
Onye ekwu ka a na-eme ịghọtago onye ekwu ka a na-eme anyị apụtago ife gaba n'iru waba ọgbọ egwu adịghị atụ afọ buru ụzọ onye si na ọ bụrụ onwe ihe ọ ga-eme onye si na ọ bụrụ ya ọ bụrụ onwe ihe ọ ga-eme asụ eze anya kwere
wekpume kata isi gwa okwu ihe kemeni tano mekili. Thank you very much.
okwu ihe onye asụ eze anya sosie n'iko nwale ga-eme ekwu nkata n'iru ya okwu ụmụnne anyị ndị na-agbagharị pịogeri na onye ọbụla were nwayọ ọ bụghị ọsọ anyị nwabụ ihe bịara ụwa ndị ọbụla nọ be ha na-edozi be ha
Have you seen Hausa women outside? Even Yoruba women as let me not use some words. Thank you very much.
Come on, ya no dozi go si we do the dem ku na-esokwa na-emebikwala anyị hu na-emeziri anyị ife chikwa na onwu you got to go chikwa na onwu onye ọna bichara ezi na ya bataba anyị awa otu na ya bata onwu n'ezi onwu enye ba mana onye ọwụ na na-erube anyị gba mbọ mechasịa ihe ka ọ kọrọ mmiri onye ọwụ na-anọkwa n'ime be anyị gba mbọ mechasịa ihe dị na ka ọ kọrọ mmiri kịta nke kịta ka m na-agwụ.
Thank you Maazị. Round up please.
onye ọwụ na-eme ezumezu kịta ekenekwa agụ Maazị Onyibe asụkọ mma were gọ mmụọ maka njọ bụrụ gị ọkwọ ka njọ na-akwa n'eziri ụlọ na-asị na-egwu onu ofu na oge nwere mkpochi onye isi aghọbara je eji nke wee chụ ọchọkọ ya manya na ọdachi ama nkwu ya
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Caller on the line, your name and where you calling from. Turn down the volume of your radio set. Move away from your radio set. Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
I like your picture very well this evening. My name is Uju.
So much noise coming from your phone.
My name is Uju Muabai. Another family. Kamacharo Aweri Akokwa. Theater North from Lukuve. Biafra land. I call it from here, Abba. Onyibe. Because I'm also because onye ihe ịza ụzọ nke eziokwu ọ na-agbazi m anya mmiri na ihe m na-ahụ na masịrị ihe niile ịkụziri na na-eme hapụ na masịrị ibi na amaghị m echọta emegidere mkpọchi ma village arụ na totali obi adịghị m mma m nwere na-asị Chineke eleghị ejisi na that state elee otu nna ga-echidi na nwa ọmụ elee otu mma na nwa ya nwoke si ga-edina kedu ihe mere na nwanne nwoke ga-eji kpọrọ nwanne ya nwaanyị dina iwega ji ime ozi aha na nkerizi ka eze kwuo eze na-atụ amaghị m amụ ụjọ ka ọ na-atọ ka ọ dị na onwe nke ikwu okwu ije na nke chifu agaghị ekwu okwu ifeatị asị nke ekwu ntụ ka m ahaghị ya bikọs ihe na-eme na pesa adịbe nna arụ na-eme ihe niile kwuziri na ọ na-eme na ebe je na village ahụ na ọhịa na-etoche everywhere because they emerụ ọ na-ata village totally ihe ọjọọ na-eme ndị shiji ndị so na ha bụ dibia asị m na dibia bụ ihe ọjọọ dibia bụ ihe mara mma because abịa n'asụsụ oyibo atọ dọkịta n'asụsụ baanyị n'Igbo language ọ bụ dibia onye so gara na nke dibia so dibia gwọrọ m ọgwụ isi ọ ga-agwọrọ nne ya ọgwụ ka ọ taa ka ọ dịkwa dọkịta m itere m ọgwụ mana ihe m na-ekwu ukwu ya bụ dibia na-aga aga na-ewere ihe Chukwu otu abịa ma mere o ji ga-eme ka ndị mmadụ dị mma ya were na-ebusi ụmụnne ya o sokwu na ihe mepere na my village ofu onye tụtọrọ one village na-achị mkpuchi na my village ha na-etibe ihe arụ na-eme na my village mgbe na-ajụ maazị Onyibe Chukwu otu abịa ma kwuru okwu na Baịbụl ihe banyere ihe dị otu a na onye mere ihe dị otu a si were kwute tigbuo ya na ọ bụ nke a ka anyị ga-eyi nwere nke anyị onwe anyị bụ mmadụ anyị ga-eme biko bikọta ndị a na-ekwukwe ndị chọọchị ọwụ na m na-agụkwu nkwu ndị ọchịchị ahụ m onye chọọchị nna m onye chọọchị ma famili m onye chọọchị betu gwa anya ikwute ha okwu ndị ọgọmmụọ ha sị ndị ọgọmmụọ na-eme ka ndị ekpeti na mba ha ndị gwa anyị na-agọ mmụọ na-abụghị mmadụ ka ha na-agọ ha na-eme ihe dị otu a ugbu a ha na-agọzikwanụ mmadụ gịnị mere eji eme ihe dị otu a bikọta ha na-atụ na ya ndị ndị ogoro mmụọ ha nwawụchiri ndị na-agọ mmadụ ka ha na-agọzi mmadụ ọrụ yụọ arụ ndị anụnwa na-eme ihe ọ kwesịrị ekwesị n'ala anyị Maazị Onyibe alakeọtiki biko ọ mara ihe a ga-eme ihe a biko ọ dị m obere a na-akpọ m anya mmiri ọ na-akpọ m ozugbo anya mmiri ọ bụrụ na vileji ọzọ efechara my vileji ụmụaka niile nọ na vileji agbapụchara biko ndị fọrọ afọ tụtụrụ ụmụnne ha na-etinye enyi enweghị onye na-ekwu okwu ndị tara isi awụ ndị gbara isi awụ anaghị ekwu okwu these our air and never speaking both for women and the men here no problem arụ na-eme Maazị Onyibe
Thank you very much. We must continue. Our people must understand this truth. Iwe gbu imi anya ahụ akwa. Iwe gbu imi anya ahụ akwa. We are saying what we are saying. You can choose to analyze it anyhow you like. You can hide from it. But you know what? All of us will suffer it, including Hausa, Fulani, Yoruba. Everybody will suffer it. Is it not one Nigeria? Don't worry. There are deliberate attempts to bastardize our blood lineage. People don't understand. Are you still there? Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I am here, my brother. Good evening.
Good evening from you.
Yeah, my name is Kelechi. I'm calling from Lagos. Yeah, Mazi, thank you for your good work. My name is Kelechi. I'm calling from Lagos. I don't know if I'm coming out clear, Mazi, but
go ahead. The word is listening.
Thank you for your good work and thank you for your program. And this evening, I thank God I get you. I love your program, Mazi. Before I say what I have in my mind, I want to thank you because what you have just done now is what Bible said in the book of Ezekiel. It says, "Tell the wicked that you are a wicked man. If he refuses to change from his wickedness, when he dies, blood will be upon his head. But when you that know that what he's doing is wickedness, and you refuse to tell him, when the person dies, his blood will be required from your hand. And then you have done your part this evening." I am a pastor. By the grace of God, I run a ministry here in Lagos. Mazi, the truth is this. Some of us who are pastors, I would say that we are not telling our people the truth. Because the Bible says you shall know the truth and the truth will make you free. In the book of Proverbs chapter 6, if you read from verse 16, this thing that you are just saying now, God said it and said, these are the 6 things that I hate. 7 of them are abomination. Proverbs chapter 6, if you read from verse 16 to 20, you will hear what the Bible said about all this abomination. Now, our ignorance is not an excuse. Mazi, I'm from Ebonyi State, a place in Ebonyi State. I'm from Omega in Ebonyi State. In this village, if you marry and then your wife begin to sleep around, the children will begin to die. I remember when I was in a pastor training, I had one pastor friend whom the wife was sleeping around. And then he got to our attention and we begin to tell him this thing is abomination. He throws caution to her and said, I have confessed and all that they have seek the face of God and blah, 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 blah. Because he began to eat the food that was prepared by that woman. No, you see, there are all these things that we are saying. It's not making up story. There is consequences for abomination. Though God will forgive you, yes. I'm not doubting about the forgiveness. You will be forgiven. But there are consequences that is very severe. And that is what many of us are suffering today, even without knowing. Mazi, as a young pastor, I have come across so many people. If I begin to say it, you will not end this program. Mazi, I have come across, there are so many ladies that will not marry. The reason why they will not marry is not because God did not want them to marry, but they have been sleeping with people's husbands. That is sleeping. It's not that they don't know, they know very well and they're doing it, and it's abomination on their head. The Bible said, if I begin to mention, Bible says, he that sleep with his uncle's wife or his uncle or his will not give birth to children. It's there in the book of Deuteronomy. But sometimes we the pastors, we are not telling the people the truth. You tell them that the grace does not permit anybody to commit abomination. There are some things that are abomination. God said, when you caught people with this kind of acts, take them outside the city and stone them to death. These are the principles that God laid down. But some people, some of us, I'm talking to myself now, and some other my fellow pastors, who I don't know what we try to get by not telling the people what they're supposed to know. Some will come and tell you, Jesus said in his statement that he have not come to abolish the law, but he came to solidify it. So don't be deceived by what people, in fact, some pastors are going to get some of those things are doing them thing. So if you are hearing me, I settled one matter when I was in the East as a young pastor. A man was sleeping with her own daughter, and I was preaching. Then I was an evangelist. I was preaching. I came across when this young lady, after preaching, the lady began to cry and began to tell me something. I asked her, did you speak to your mother about this thing? She said no. I asked her, do you have elder sister? She said yes. I said, do you speak to elder sister? He said, since ever her elder sister got married, she stopped coming to the house. I said, why? He said she don't know. And after some weeks,
the man did the same thing to that sister.
Exactly.
But the truth now is that those children are not that man's. The woman should tell them who their father is. Because your body cannot move for your own blood. It won't happen.
The girl had to make me to see her senior sister somewhere at Enugu. And when the young lady narrated the same story to the elder sister cried without control. I began to ask her, why are you crying? She said, my father did the same to me. And that is why since ever I got married, I refused to go I refused to go back to the house. So, and it's a long story. I don't want to go into those processes. But these are abominations that are happening here in Lagos. Somewhere 2 years ago around SACRILEGE, a woman married her own son, claiming that she was the one suffered to train the boy in the university, and nobody helped her. She married her own son. Now, as I'm talking to you, he had a child with that boy. So these are abominations that are happening. These are not all these things are not our culture. Some of us came to a Yoruba land here and begin to practice some evil that is not part of us. And the more we do this thing, the more God allowed Fulanis to come to our land and they invade it. If you read the scripture, you will understand that before the invaders came to the land of Israel, the God sent them. It is when they do those things, that is when God allowed invaders to come to the land of Israel to invade them. There are many things to say, my brother, but if I continue, I will take over your program this night. But what I want to thank you for I let our people know you have done your own part. The wickedness is wickedness. If you are into it, if you are hearing our voice this evening and you are into this crime, please desist from it. So that what we are looking for, when Biafra come, you will be alive in the land of Biafra. Master, God bless you.
Thank you very much. The truth cannot be overemphasized. Understand the purpose of revealing these things is that they open the portal that enables the enemy to strike us down and keep us down in the dust, which is not very good for us as a people. And so if you are part of this, so you stop it. Are you there, caller on the line?
Yes, hello, my African rep. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, this is your brother Bella Chukwu Kikabiama from Iguacha, but I'm from Anambra State, okay. I want to thank you for your life, and I want to thank God for everything you have taught us this night. Honestly speaking, ever since I continue to listen to your teachings, go back to your roots. It has been a great thing in my life. It has been a joy. And this evening, you are teaching us about the things that used to be from the beginning. Honestly speaking, when we look around those teachings, we will see the reality, the truth, and evidences of what is the cause of what people are encountering these days in our families, because we do not recognize the lineage, the roots where we come from. A lot of damages have come to settle. Well, we are not going to continue to remain like this, because that is why you're always on the radio. We want everything to change. What are we trying to say in effect? A man lying down with a daughter lying down with a father is a sacrilege. Not until we're told, because it has never been our culture that a man will begin to look at or begin to assess the shape of his daughters, or a daughter to begin to assess the father, the way he speaks, the way he behaves. It's only when we have begun to see ourselves as a Westerners, we see ourselves as the Igbos. We want to copy the Englishman. We want to copy the English woman. And then we forgot our culture. And that is why you are teaching. Go back to your roots. Stand the test of time. Go back to your roots. Stand the only solution to the reasons, to the cause of all these damages that we are seeing ourselves swimming in the ocean of evil. And that is why the good things that do happen to our people as a Biafrans, our people, as who we are from the beginning, before the British bring religion to us, the good things are no more happening. Our people are just dying in silence because we overlook the rules and regulations, the laws of the land, our culture. How do I mean? In the past, those things that do not happen in our families are happening because we are trying to follow the lineages, the culture of the white man. And then we begin to fight the streets that have been guiding our family, guiding our lineage, guiding our parents in the name of Igbo, in the name of English life, in the name of Western life. And I want to see that God helping us, the moment Biafra is being restored, that all things will begin to be the fundamental step which we must be working on to salvage our life and our destiny. That is why I will continue to say that Almighty will continue to bless you and our leader Mazen Nando Pukano, because there is no two ways about this truth. This is the truth that you're teaching us, and this is the only truth that can make us to be free from this particular bondage of the enemy. There is no any other enemy. But the enemy we have is that we overlook and we abandon our culture. We abandon the rules and regulations of our forefathers. And that is why our people, we are suffering what we are suffering today. No marriage, no husband, no wife, no children, etc. and etc. No business moving because we want to copy the Westerners. And that is why our people, most of our people are what we are today. But thank God for our leader, Nando. Thank God for you, African Rep. In fact, God will increase you. God will add more grace to your elbow. God will give you more wisdom and understanding. He will open your eyes to see more, to understand. I have every day by day what to teach our people. God bless you. We appreciate. We'll continue to do like this because we extend this message to other people around us so that they will know the truth and continue to go back to our roots. Whether we like it or not, that is the right thing to do. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Much. Amen. Amen.
Our people must understand. Let us look at some of the angle I'm coming from. In those days, they will tell you, this river, this is how this river came to our community. This is how they attack us. This is how the enemy came. This is what happened. When our leader was having his interactive program, somebody from a gala called and they discussed at length. And of course, the only monarch in Biafra land that have not defied itself from our culture and tradition remained the stool of Fata of Igala. The ground of Igala opened up and swallowed Queen Amina and her entourage, the woman who led Fulani jihadists to come and Islamize Biafra land before now. The ground opened up and swallowed them. This miracle don't happen again. Rivers will swallow them. Forests will confuse them. Don't you know there are leaves that touch your body in the forest? You will never come back. They remove your brain. There are leaves that will touch you in the forest. You will just be walking until somebody meets you and touch you. You will never get your sense back again. All these things has been defied. but you never know. To you, where it doesn't exist, but you cannot be spiritual conscious. You never know you are one. Are you the caller on the line? Caller on the line.
Yeah, Onyibe.
Good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, good evening, sir. My name is Michael Israel. I am calling from Odoba, under Igweta province. Mazi, I just want to thank you for your good work. I want to thank you for your good work. Going back to your roots. No, Mazi is very, very fantastic. That particular program. Mazi, I just called to thank you for the good work you have been doing. Teaching us to go back to our roots, because that is where our Savior is. And thank you for our great leader, Martin Nandekano, and our deputy leader, Mazi Temefo. And I thank all the Biafrans that is working assiduously to restore our great nation, Biafra, back. May Chukwu Okike Abiama continue to protect you all, guide you, cover you, shield you in anything you are doing in all the globe. May Chukwu Okike Abiama protect you all in the name of Chukwu Okike Abiama. Mazi, thank you. I just got to thank you. I'm learning seriously from your program. Thank you, Mazi.
Thank you very much. We must continue. Caller on WhatsApp, are you there? Caller on WhatsApp. Of course, that is your epileptic network. People must understand. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
My name is Onyibe for this topic. And we are still about a long topic, but we're still going back to our root. So there are many things that have been happening today in our lives, in this our land, because we have deviated. When we are talking of, some people say,
I don't like mommy. I don't like us deviating.
What do they know about?
Understand. I don't like us digressing from the truth. A lot of people think it's about religion. Understand. You don't go to pastors now. Don't go there. If you say Yoruba pastor, you are permitted to say it here, because they are the one who brought all these things. They are the one teaching our people apprentice. So if you want to talk to church, put Yoruba pastor. It makes sense to me. If you don't put that, I don't like it. So put Yoruba pastor. It's not Igbo pastor. It's not Ijo pastor. It's not Akwa Ibom pastor. It's a Yoruba pastor. They are the only one that can buy private jet with our money. They don't go to another people's church. They are the only one dragging us for church. But having said that, let's create the attention. Let's create the scenario that will make our people to begin to look inward. If we cannot help them to look inward, to direct them back to their root, they won't see the beauty.
Exactly.
And I expect when somebody like you call, tell me how it benefited your village, or tell me what your village suffered from such acts. Tell me how they brought solution. These are the areas I want us to focus on.
My brother, even up to today, there is no solution. Because
hold on. As a mother, give us moral lesson. What is your moral lesson for us? What is your advice for us? It's going to help us.
My advice to our people is that we should look down. Even Bible tells us that we should go to the ancient, go to the elders and ask them the ancient road. That it is that road that leads to life. That is my own moral advice to our people. That we should look down. Let us not start looking up. They have damaged, they have washed our brain. But let us forget about it. And like my village, nobody comes, no like evil man comes to that place and go out free. We must be apprehended. But today, because of the washing of head, we will go there. Some people from Lagos, you will from that place, they carry, we are going to family liberation. We are going to community liberation. Whenever they come, what they do, they will reporting at you. Portugal is there. They will be quoting all those deities that have been surrendered, those that Chukwu can deposit there for our own benefit. Then how do we do? I am telling them today that they should come back home. That they should come back home and really reason with somebody like you. If somebody like you will not tell us the truth, then we will go, carry his wife, know very, very well that this is Jibril. He went to Asorok and collected money, closed his mouth. And they will be killing, when I was there in Abuja, there is this woman that woke up in the morning who was preaching near mosque. He didn't pray to them, they cut off his head. They in Kubwa.
Thank you very much. But what you are saying now, you have moved out of our topic completely. I understand how you feel.
I am telling my people, let us come back home and reason together so that we come up with something reasonable. That we come up with something that people can look into it, because he said that Kamshako, when he will call his people, wherever he has scattered them, then as we are coming back home, we are coming to rebuild as Nehemiah as of old. They came back and rebuilt the old temple. So as we are coming back, now let us look down and rebuild the destroyed temple that was destroyed for years, so that the Chukwu Kalamba will have mercy on us. The land also will have mercy on us. Naiku, let the God of our ancestors, be Chukwu Kalamba, bless you for all the things that have been dishing us to us. And whenever we are coming back to our roots, we will also be equally blessed. I say Chukwu Kalamba bless our director who has opened my eyes, take me to the, even if not for him, I don't know where I could have been today. And many of us, I say, let you go bless a blessing for us. Bless our deputy Uchemefo. Bless every other person, someone like you that have been bringing out your time to go deep to teach us what you don't know. I say, may your days be long in the land of your ancestors. Now, Hachuko Kadama.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Biafrans all over the world, America, say no! IPOB, US, America, 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 IPOB, New York, America, America, America. Oh yes, IPOB USA, IPOB USA, and the state of New York. Just like we all know,
This information is directed to the IPOB in the United States of America. Going with all our leaders, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has recently said we must do the needful.
If you have not joined IPOB,
the animal that is,
or you intend to support
the animal that is calling my WhatsApp, I have written to you to stop calling my private WhatsApp. If you continue to call it, I will block you. Don't be an idiot. Are you Yoruba blood worrying you? I don't like when people behave like animal. Even though you are my father or my mother, I have warned you to stop calling my private line. You are disturbing my program. Or you won't make I swear for you?
the struggle for the restoration of Biafra. Now is the time.
To join IPOB family in the New York, please call our state coordinator, Mazi David Ezekwesili, on 832-245-5640, or the New York State Deputy,
Mazi.
Come, if you don't call to this line, I will swear for you. Can't you read? Can't you read?
Izu Opoli ADK on 646-645-8237.
Other zone coordinators include Bronx Zone 1 and Mazi Dr. Ekweme on +164-664-43957. Zed Obina
+192-9509-8008.
Staten Island, Mazi John on 347-203-0871.
Pastor Thomas 6462-269487.
Brooklyn Zone,
Saint
Abalakwe AM on +1 02365246.
Queens/Long Island.
Masi Elochukwu
16469566219.
Bronx Zone 2. Wada Beatrice on 347-5177-934.
Or Reverend Jeff.
You live anywhere in the U.S. and you want to join or contribute, call our National Coordinator, Dr. Okoro, or our National Deputy Coordinator, Wada Lady Prestige. Or you are a woman in the USA, you can join our Women Wing. Call Wada Mommy Okafor on 121-571-57709. Also, if you want to contribute, USA will not fail our leader Nnamdi Kanu or disappoint our motherland Biafra. All hail Biafra, Biafra, we hail you. Signed, David Ezekwesili, New York State Coordinator.
Yes, of course, at this moment we will draw the curtain for this very segment. Believe me, I'm not going anywhere. I will be signing off temporarily and I will be back in less than no time. My appreciation to those of you who were able to call in to make your own positive contribution, and apology to those that I cannot take their call at this moment. I will be signing off and will be coming back right after that. And for those of you who have access to my private WhatsApp, that does not mean when you know I'm on air, you start calling me to come on air through that line. You need my permission to do that. The last person trying to come in my phone, you have been calling my private line over and over, more than 70 times. If I talk to you, you will not like me, and it doesn't concern me. To the extent I wrote to you, I ask you, stop calling this line. What is your problem? You signal me you want to come on air, and if it's conducive for me, I bring you on air. Except you are Yoruba, Wosa, Fulani, of course the enemy of Biafra, I will treat you as one. Let us be reasonable. Udo the Rindi Chodo. Good night from here, like I said. I'll be back in no time.
Onwe